Hello, so this is going to be my video on quartiles and outliers. In this we are going to find a minimum and a maximum. We are going to find our quartiles, which will explain what that is, and we are going to find some outliers. So before we do that, let's just kind of talk about what those things are. So a minimum, this is a minimum in the truest sense. It is the smallest term. It's going to be the most negative term or the smallest positive term. And then we have the maximum, which is the largest term. So those are pretty simple vocabulary words that make sense pretty easily. You look at numbers, you say which are the smallest, you say which are the largest. But now we're going to look at quartiles. So if you look in here, this has the number quarter in it. And what percent is a quarter? It is 25%. So the way that this is going to work is we've got our minimum over here, that's 0%. Then after 25%, that is going to be our first quartile. So quartile 1. After that, we're going to add 25 more percent, and this is going to be 50%. And that is going to be quartile 2. Let's erase this to make it look a little cleaner. So this is quartile 2. And what do we also know about where numbers are in a data set is that middle number when you order it from least to greatest. This is the median. So the quartile 2 is the same thing as finding a median, and that's going to help us. After that, we're going to add 25 more percent, and we're going to have 75%, and that's quartile 3. So this is like the third quarter of people or data or whatever. And then that 100%, that's going to be our maximum. So we have a minimum, and it increases by 25%. Every 25% is one quartile. And that middle quartile, quartile 2, that's the median. If all those words didn't make sense, then we'll work with them some, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. The other term we're going to look at is we're going to have outliers. So outliers literally goes by its definition, something that lies out, a term that is really far separate from the rest of the data. So we could have all of our data is here, all of our data is here. This is our, our age or whatever. We've got everyone's in the same age, and then we have one person that's like way out here. That person is an outlier. And you can draw this in a whole bunch of different ways, but this is how I've chosen to draw it. So this is what a minimum and maximum are, quartiles and outliers. And now we're going to go ahead and solve for some.